Hey everyone, it's Anne Manera and welcome to another color along from Color Along Variety Coloring Book Volume 19. Today is one of my most favorite type of pages to color, a grayscale coloring page, and I am going to be using Derwent Chroma colored pencils. So let's flip over to the page. We're working on this page today in the Color Along book. This one is a pumpkin page. Let me just see if I can get a clip so we can clip this page to make it flat right there. Okay, so let's get started. Derwent Chroma pencils. This is a 12-pack set and a very vibrant color. It's saying right here on the pencil, on the cover here, on the case, smooth, creamy laydown, and I cannot agree with that. Agree more with that. Really, a great. I just love a Derwent product anyway, but it really has a smooth flow to it. Chroma flow. I think that's why they call it Chroma flow. I don't know. Do you use these? Let me know in the comments. Let's just get a couple of the requirements out of the way here for today, and let's talk about subscribe to my channel, give it a like, give it a thumbs up, hit that bell to get notified every time I post a new video. New color along videos get posted every Monday and Thursday at 10 a.m. Eastern time, and we are currently working on Color Along Volume 19. Color Along Volume 20 will begin in November 7th, and the book is already available on Amazon. So you'll be able to find a link to this book, Volume 19, Volume 20, and this page can also be found in my book, Autumn Beauty Grayscale Photo Coloring Book. So all of the links to everything will be found in the description of this video. So let's get started. So the first thing I'm going to do is use this orange color. And I'm going to start here with the pumpkin because I feel like it's the centerpiece of the page. And I'm going to just start with this orange color, which is called Flame 04. Now, if you're new to grayscale coloring, what I want to talk about are a couple of different things here. First of all, always use the same pressure, because what you want to do is at the end, or your end result needs to be that this is in fact a grayscale page. You also want to follow the lights and the darks, and you want to color by section and by shape. So on this pumpkin, for example, you want to make sure that you're coloring each section of the actual pumpkin. And by that, I mean, so there's the pumpkin. It has those ridges, right? So I'm coloring each area, but I'm using the same pressure with this color. And then I'm going to go back in and I'm going to enhance it. Now, if you take a look here, this is really white right here, but if I use the same pressure here, it will still look like I have colored it. So at the end, you want it to look like it's a grayscale page. You don't want it to look too opaque. And you want to be able to mix some colors also. So I've got this flame color. Now I have scarlet, which is this red color. And for this color, I'm just going to go back over some of the areas, especially where it has the grooves. And I'm kind of pulling away. So I'm kind of giving it one of those color, press down, and then kind of like, just like a flick. And then here, I'm going to come up from the bottom. So we're basically kind of blending these two colors, this flame color and this scarlet color. And just to kind of create a new color, I guess. And so you just kind of, you don't want to have too much pressure, but see this part right here? You do want to have that groove. Now, I want to be, so I've got that groove in there, and I'm going to kind of pull away with this art, with flame. And then I'm going to give it a little bit more right there. So I'm kind of using this scarlet color in the middle. And now we've got this orange color once again. And plus I've got this other color here, which is called blush pink. But this is a nice color to use as maybe a colorless blender type thing. And by a colorless blender, we talk about a color that is either, that could be a neutral color, and it could simply blend the current color that's there. Now we've got the stem, and we're gonna pull up with that one. That's kind of like a green and a brown, right? So on a pumpkin, I think it's more green than brown. So here's grass green. And we're going to just kind of use this green color here. And then I'm going to take my brown, which is called natural brown, and just kind of hit the in-betweens where those grooves are and just kind of blend around. And there will be my stem. Now, we can add a little bit of brown on the underside of this pumpkin, especially under here, just to kind of give it a little bit of a dark bottom so it looks like it's sitting upon something. And then we've got this kind of ruffle right here, and I feel like that could be kind of a yellow color. So let's go back over this with some yellow for these ruffles. Now, again, we want to color in the direction of the actual object that we're coloring. And we want to make sure that we use either, we want to make sure we just use the same pressure, because it just, look at that. It just already starts to take shape. And then, of course, we've got all these leaves down here, which this is a fall scene. So I'm here in New England in the US, so it's always fall is always the prettiest time of year. So we want to make sure we have all of those nice colored leaves, and just to kind of give it a bit of a pop. So there's all my the ruffled fabric that's all around here with this yellow color. And I'm going to go back in. This is a basket that's sitting underneath there. I'm going to go back in with some brown that's here, just to kind of give it a little. There's the edge of the basket, and here's kind of the top of it. And now remember, I'm going in the direction of the object. So we've got this basket that's here, and I'm going in the direction of what's there. Now, of course, we don't want to color the whole thing like in a different direction. So if you color something in the direction of the object. Now this basket has a lot of, you can see like a lot of crisscross, you know, how a basket would be. But you just kind of want to lay down that first kind of base color there. And then we've got some brown in here. And in here also would be like between, you know, between the leaves. And then let's pop a yellow leaf right here, just to kind of get it to be a little something something. And we're going to go back over this one with some orange, because leaves in the fall, as they're falling down, you know, you want to make sure that they are all, you know, various colors. And then this one here, I'll make an orange color too. Paisley, why don't you lay down, sweetie, okay? My dog Paisley is coming over to say hey. Lay down, sweets, okay? It's okay. Did you lose your pencil? Yeah? I didn't think you were part of the coloring today. It's funny how she was fast asleep just a few minutes ago. Okay, so now let's make this leaf here underneath this a kind of a greenish color. They're already kind of taking shape. And again, we want those leaves to be something that you can, you know, something that they're different colors, you know, throughout them. So we're going to maybe kind of give this a little bit. This is a dark green color. This is called basil. Much darker than regular basil would be, I guess. Sometimes, you know, the colors of the actual leaves are never, I mean, of the pencils, of the leaves, the colors of the leaves. Today we're coloring with leaves. Oh my goodness. Imagine coloring with leaves. I guess you could color on top of them, but I don't know if you could color with them. Give this one a little bit of a red color down here. Let's go with a, well, this is pink blush. We don't want to really use that at this point. We'll use some orange here. And these are all, they look to me like they're all maple leaves, which would be a good color. Sometimes maple leaves don't really turn though. They just kind of fall off the tree and they disappoint. I hope this year has a lot of different colors. Nothing yet, but it's early. Go over this one with a little bit of red. And we'll pop a red leaf back here, I guess. Of course, some of these leaves could be brown. We don't have to discredit brown, but some of them could in fact be brown. So we'll pop a brown one underneath here. And if I mix that with a little bit of yellow, we'll see what happens there. Put a little bit of yellow in there, just kind of give it a little bit of a highlight. We've got these kind of bits of grass or green right there. I'll pop a little bit of yellow, of green right here, and we'll mix it with a little bit of yellow. So it's kind of yellowish green as they're turning. Now I don't want to use too much pressure here, right? I don't want to use too much pressure. I don't want to press down and do a heavy pressure, because in the end we want to make sure that this is in fact a grayscale page. We don't want to take a look at this and say, and have any question that we've colored a grayscale page. We just want to make sure that, wow, look at that grayscale page is what we want to say. And back here, I'm just going to go with a little bit of brown. And you know, the other thing that happens with the grayscale coloring page is that a black colored pencil, a really sharp black colored pencil, I think makes all the difference in the world. Because in the end here, when we get towards the end of this, we're going to really add some black accents, for lack of a better word, I guess, right? And then this is another leaf here that's kind of coming down behind this whole thing. And again, I'm going to use a little bit of red in this. And I'm going to use a little bit of red right here also. And then we'll make the next leaf that's next to it green. And then in here, so we've got kind of a little bit of leaves on the actual basket that it's sitting on. At first I thought it was a tree stump, but it's not. It's a basket. I'll color this with some brown. And again, back here, we just kind of want to say, well, you know, there's a little bit of leaf back there. Put some orange leaves here. Now again, look at this. Look at the light that's coming down in this photograph. So, of course, it's going to look a little different once we add these colors. Put some green in here, some green here. Go with some yellow. Okay, so now let's add some more brown on this side of the basket here. Here's the handle, it's coming down. And we've got these kind of like pieces of grass at the bottom. So I'm going to go with some green here at the bottom, and I'm going to go with a just all over here, because for this section here we've got a lot of grass happening. And what is going to save me at this area, in this area, is that the grass has a lot of lights and darks already. So I'm going to go back in with some yellow and some brown and enhance what is here. So I'll color this section here also with some of this green, just to kind of get that whole area colored. And then I'm going to go back into this area here and just kind of highlight what is there. Again, here too. I don't think I got this little handle here, but let's get that section and highlight this here. Got this green. This part here. And then see on the undersides of all these leaves, like in the in-betweens, I'm going to go back into all of these in-betweens, and I am going to use this basil color, which is my darkest green out of this set. So just kind of hitting each one of these as I'm following along. How's it looking, Paisley? Paisley's giving me 2 thumbs up, 2 paws up. She says it looks great. My dogs always know when I'm recording a video. They always know when I'm doing a live video. They always know when I'm doing a recorded video. I mean, do you have pets that do that? They read your mind, don't you think? See how I just kind of put that dark color in there? Now I'm going to go back over on these little bits of grass. Those little lines. Kind of a bunch of little scribbles when you think about it. Again over here in this section. And then I'm going to get that brown color and do the same type of thing on the in-betweens. So it has a lot of variation of some different grasses in here. Give this pencil a good sharpen. So let's take a look at how it's already starting to look. I mean, look at how it's just enhancing over in this corner here. And again, just kind of adding all of these dark lines. So the key part of this particular page is to be able to actually have a lot of different layers and sections. And as you take a look at this whole area of grass, for example, you can really start to see how it's multi-layered here with different colors. There's browns, there's yellows, there's greens. So you can really start to see what is happening. And I'm going to take that dark green again, just like I did along this side, and now start to work on this right portion of the page. And I mean, I think that what's cool about Grayscale is it really kind of teaches you where the lights and the darks are, where how to shade, and I think that it carries over into starting to work on a whether you're working on a drawing or you're working on a coloring a line art page. I think it really gets you to understand where those lights and those darks are and how the light hits. And I think it even is good for someone that paints. You know, if you're a painter and you really need to understand the whole shadows and shading, and because nothing in this world is just one color. Things are so many colors, especially when you look at the grass. If you look at the grass up close, a front lawn is really not, it's just really not one color. It's several colors of greens and browns and yellows. I mean, hopefully it's not completely brown, but I think that it really is multicolored. So I've got this little bit of yellow that's popping in here. I'm going to go back in with some brown. Now you also want to kind of think, how am I going to get this to look like it's got weight at the bottom? I mean, as we go up at the top, it's got a much different look, right? The background here is much more blurry. And how do we handle that? We don't want to really get into the details. So if we take a look at this to the left side versus the right side of the page, there's definitely a difference in how we're coloring this, because we want to make sure that we have some of the lines enhanced and some of them not enhanced, because here's another leaf, I believe, that's kind of like floating right here. I can see the veins of it as I'm looking. Here's another one here on this side. Here's another one right here. So just is kind of like, you know, floating, or it's on a stick or something. And here's another one here. Just kind of like, it's just there, you know? It's just there. Here's that brown color again. And now we're gonna go back again with this green color and just kind of hit it lightly in this background, because we still want to be able to see the lights and the darks that are back there, and we still want to be able to see how blurry things are. So I'm kind of holding this at a different angle, and as I'm coloring this part here, I am coloring it, you know, the whole thing, because this is really just kind of sitting in a field. Now we've got these kind of sticks that are sticking up, so I'm just going to kind of go in with my brown. Here's another one. It's kind of hitting this. Just kind of want those to, you know, kind of be identified that's there. Here's another one that's back there. Just kind of lightly hitting these sticks. Now we want to make that pumpkin look like it's going to sit. You're going to lay, you know, you can walk in and just kind of pop it off the page and pick it up and, you know, walk away and poof, you have a pumpkin. So we want to make sure that we get what's behind it to look like it's dark. So right here we have this little bit of a dark area, and I'm just going to kind of go in there and hit it with my brown. Again here, a little bit of brown, brown, brown. And once I get all my colors in, then I'm going to go back in with black and really enhance it so it really starts to look like, wow, it's sitting there, it's on top of something. We've got all these different areas. What I am going to do is we've got this whole section at the bottom here, this ruffle. I'm going to go back in with my basil green, and I'm going to hit inside, give it a little bit of a dark line, just a tiny bit of a dark line with my basil green on all of those, see, like all those folds that are there. And you know, when we do this, we want to make sure that we kind of like hit it with an unfinished line. So by that, I mean you kind of like give it a little bit of a flick. So I paint a lot, so I think that when I'm coloring Grayscale, I'm almost kind of thinking, wow, this is like a painting. Like I'm just kind of like putting a little bit of color down like I would with a paintbrush. And there's just a little bit. So see how that just kind of like highlighted it? And then I'm going to go back in with a little bit of this white color and just kind of hit the edges. I'm not going to outline it. This is the other thing about Grayscale I forgot to mention. Never outline Grayscale because, you know, things in real life are never outlined. And you can always leave things that are completely white that's in your coloring page uncolored. Because if that's the whitest you want to get it, then that is all you need to do. All right, so now what do I have back here? I just want to kind of take a look. Do I need to add anything back there? Maybe I need to add a little bit of a dark green in here on these little sections. Paisley's back. Paisley's back to check my work. All right, so we have all of this area here. Now look at this. This is very dark in here, but I really didn't do anything to this section here because all I did was color it with that light green and I left it. Now that looks much darker than this, so that's really all I'm going to do to that section. Put a little bit of light green here for those sticks. Now let's take my black. Very, very sharp pencil here, and that's important. And I'm going to just kind of, oh no, I hate when that happens. I'm going to get my Boss Stitch pencil sharpener. I think there's a broken core. You know? Between you, me, and the fence post, I think there's a broken core. See what happens? Does this ever happen to you? It sharpens sideways, and now it keeps breaking. That means that something inside that pencil is already broken. The lead inside that is broken. Well, that really stinks, right? Okay, well, we'll do what we can with this pencil. We're not going to make a big deal about it. All right, so I'm going to, see how it's just kind of like that? It's okay. So I'm going to add a little bit of black on the underside of these. Man, that threw me. Oh my goodness. I know, there's worse things in life, but you gotta admit, when that happens, it is a little crazy. All right, so we've got this little, we're just adding some black on the undersides of these. Now see this part right here? I'm just gonna add a little bit of that flick of black. Again, here, we want that pumpkin to kind of say, well, you know, pick me up, is what we want it to say. So we've got this black right here. And again, we've got a little bit of, don't forget, we've got this basket, right? So here's the handle, and we want that to look like, wow, we can pick that handle up. We want it to be different from the whole thing. And we want this leaf to look like it's in front of the basket. So how do we do that? We add a little bit of a dark line around it, but not outlining it. So it becomes a low light. And here's another one right here. So we've got it. The black is actually on the basket and not on the leaf. And we're actually kind of, you know, popping in that dark line. You could use this, you could use a navy blue for this if your pencil is having trouble like mine. Or you could use a dark brown. I could get up and get another one, another black pencil. But I wanted to, first of all, be able to only do this with Derwent Coloursoft. And I don't want to step on my dogs who are sleeping. So why bother the dog? So I'm just kind of adding this black section here. Again, black. See how that's just really making it look like, especially under here, we've got it underneath this ruffle because it's dark under there. The light is, that is where the light don't shine. So we want to make sure we've got a little bit of a darkness there. And then here, again, maybe a dark line here. Here is our handle. So there we go. We got to put that in there. And then adding a little bit of black into the grassy areas. Because we've got to have something that's going to say, wow, that's really dark back there. So how do we enhance what's there? I think you get the gist of this, right? I think that it's, you understand. Let me know in the comments what you think about this. Let me know if this is, if I'm explaining it to your, to my, a way for you to understand it. Let me know if you think that, just let me know what you think about this video. Give it a thumbs up. If you like this video, it really helps out my channel. And I'm going to call this complete. I'm not going to do anything. Oh, well, actually I am. I'm going to just kind of give it a little bit of a black line on this side of it, but I'm going to flick up. So I'm not going to get that line to be completely a finished line. And again, here on, see on this part right here, flick up. Oh, that's too dark right there, but that's okay. We'll pretend I didn't do that. Okay, and that is my finished page. So thanks so much for watching, everyone. I think this was a fun color along. I hope you can join me next time, and I hope you can share your finished coloring page on Instagram or on Facebook. You can go ahead and tag me, hashtag Anne Manera, and I can't wait to see it. Hey, have a great day. Thanks so much for watching.